This is going to be a working title right now, the Clover Street Video Podcast. Clover Street Podcast, the Clover Street Show. Whatever. Anyway, this is sort of the pilot episode. Not even the pilot episode, really. This is just the test shoot. I want to kind of watch this back later, see how everything looks on film. I got the microphone. I got 2 turntables and a microphone. I got the microphone set up here. Oh, I gotta turn that police radio off. Hang on. See? It's little things like this you don't realize. And, there we go. There's an airplane. Here, this is kind of neat to have in the foreground. You don't realize all the sounds and stuff. So, I'm going to be basically, whoops, let's see. Basically, in the early days of this show, I'm just going to be using my microphone, an iPad, and an iPhone. Okay, eventually we're going to get a GoPro involved and probably add in another microphone later, and we'll get some more stuff. But for now, let's see, where is my... Okay. Now I know you can't hear me that well, but that's about to change because I'm about to hook up this microphone and then we're going to sync that up, and I'm going to be recording so there's going to be a lot of dead time like this, so okay. Now let's see, let's do this here. I'm using, for right now, I'm using GarageBand for the audio, okay? Just fix that. Just changing a few things around here. Let's see, metronomic counting, no sound. Yeah, okay. I'm just changing, just messing with my levels here a little bit, guys. You're gonna love it. It's gonna sound, this is gonna sound so much better. And you're not going to hear all that goofy background noise. You're not going to hear airplanes. You're not going to hear goats and ducks and chickens and all that other nonsense that you don't want to hear on a podcast. All right? So here we go. Oh, you know what? I forgot my headphones. I'm going to have to leave you hanging. Move. Oh, I have this light here that would help us out tremendously, but I don't know if I have anywhere to plug it in just yet. So we're just going to set that off to the side, I guess. For now, I'm probably going to end up having a lot more equipment in this shot than I originally thought that I would need. But that's the way it goes, you know. Lighting is important. Oh, you know what? I'm being recorded on the microphone right now. That's going to really sound a lot better here in a moment. Okay. Okay. Let's get this plugged in here. Alright. I have a goat right here. Just off camera. I guess she decided to come in for a visit. If she sticks around, I can grab her and show her to you. But I gotta be real quick because she runs away fast. Alright, don't worry about it. Anyway, hey, does this microphone make much of a difference? Can you hear me a lot better? Try not to make that much noise, but go. Okay, so that's it, right? We're on mic. We're being recorded. Let me just make sure. Huh? Why is that on camera mode? It's weird. Oh crap, I never hit record. There we go. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. All right, there we go. Now we're cooking with bacon. Isn't that the expression? Come here, goat. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the Clover Street Podcast. My name is Chris Capix. I'm so glad you all have decided to join me here in my garage. The early days, Clover Street, the early days. Remember way back when I used to broadcast from my garage? 5 years from now, I'll probably still be broadcasting from here. But anyway, yeah, I'm just out here kind of chilling. This is all just sort of a test. I need to make sure that I can sync up the audio with the video later because I am recording them separately and independently. Because I've been doing some podcast research, video podcast research, and they're saying that people are going to be more inclined to listen or to watch your podcast if you have good audio and bad video. As long as they can hear good, they're happy with that. But if you have bad audio and good video, they're going to be less likely to tune in. So I'm hoping right now we have both. I might change the camera position a little bit. It's very busy. There's a lot of distractions and stuff in the background. There's this light behind me that I might move forward a little bit. It's never good to have light behind you when you're filming because that just creates you as a silhouette. So I might move that up a bit. Just to change that a bit. It needs to be in front of me. I need to have white poster board illuminating. But anyway, okay, so we're just going to talk real briefly today about hunting. That's going to be one of the major topics on this show. I love hunting. I got into it back in 2008. So this coming season, it's January now, but this coming hunting season in October for deer will be my 10th year hunting. I got my first deer, my first year hunting in Pennsylvania. I went up to visit my aunts in Pittsburgh, the greater Pittsburgh area, and I got my first deer with a crossbow. It was a beautiful what was the crossbow I was using? A 10 point. I can't remember what it was called right now. I want to say the Phantom something or other. I don't know. It was a really nice crossbow. And I got my first deer. It was awesome. Hey, Mackie, come here. Come here. Maybe he'll make an appearance so I can get him to... Mackie, come here, boy. All right. You just missed my dog. He came in here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. There's a goat right there, too. So 2008, and my aunt's backyard, basically, because she lives on the property of some public land where you can hunt. And I got my first deer. There, come here, buddy. There you go. There's my boy Mackie. Hi, Mackie. How you doing, big boy? He's my husky. He's a Siberian husky. He was born in Denver back in... What year were you born? Oh, 10, maybe 10 or 11, something like that. He sheds a lot. If you ever think about getting a husky, I'm sorry. See how I get on these tangents and I get off my story? So anyway, I'm sitting in this tree stand that was already there. Climbed up the tree stand, and I probably got out there at like 6:30 in the morning or something, 7. And this group of doe came along, 3 white-tailed doe. And in thinking back, maybe I should have waited on my shot because they may have been followed by a buck. I don't know, but it didn't matter. To me, it was just about, this is my first deer ever. I didn't really care if it was a male, female, big buck, button buck, whatever. But he came along at around 8:30. I actually have me cleaning and processing this deer on some of my old YouTube videos, so search for that. Yeah, and I've just loved hunting ever since. I think I've gotten 5 deer in my career. I think approximately 4 or 5, I want to say 5 deer. Yeah, so I am also one of these guys that is not opposed to roadkill. That's right. I know it sounds gross, but hear me out. Hear me out. I'm going to give you some tips on what you should do if you ever come across roadkill. Alright, so the first thing you want to do, if it's in the winter like it is now, where it's 20 degrees, 30 degrees, 18 degrees, whatever, if it's below freezing, that's a great time to pick up freshly killed roadkill, okay? Because the temperature is going to preserve that meat. It's not going to go bad. If you see a deer in the summer or the spring or even early autumn when it's still 70, 80 degrees out, it's going to go bad pretty quick in a matter of hours, you know. But here's what you look for if you're doing roadkill, if you're picking up roadkill. First of all, different cities, different municipalities and counties have different rules on roadkill. Sometimes you have to call like a state trooper or the Department of Game and Inland Fisheries and ask them if it's okay. Most of them will allow it, but you have to ask. Some of them issue permits for this. Some of them will just come out there and verify, get log some information on the deer, and then let you take it. It's different. I don't know. But so what you do, figure out what the rules are in your county to do that. Here's what you want to look for on the deer. Like I said, if it's cold weather, fantastic. You're in great shape. The eyes. First thing you want to do, first of all, how bad is the deer hit? A lot of times you can tell that deer was hit a month ago. He's been sitting there rotting. He's mostly spine and rib cage now. You want to look for the absolute freshest deer possible. First thing you want to look at is the eyes. The eyes need to be very glassy. The glassier they are, the fresher that deer is, okay? Plus, just the overall appearance of the deer. If his belly is real swelled up, his or her belly is real swelled up, um, that can vary. I would probably recommend you pass that deer. If it's just a little bit swollen, then that's just a little bit of gas. That can happen in 24 hours. But if it's real swollen up, that means all kinds of nasty gases are building up, and bacteria are creating these gases in the deer's stomach and the guts. And when you cut that open, man, you want to talk about something bad smelling. Oh, yeah. You probably best to leave that deer alone, okay? You're looking for those glassy eyes. You're looking for a deer that's not too messed up. You know, deer that are hit in the front section, like the front shoulders forward, or the hip hips back, the back legs and back, as long as it's not too devastated and you have bone shattered fragments everywhere, you should have some salvageable meat out of there. But these are things that you want to look for. And of course, then when you cut the deer open, you want to look at other things that you would look for when you're field dressing a deer. Very unusual rotten smells. Now, deer guts are going to have a bad smell anyway, but if it's particularly rotten and just makes you want to vomit, and there might be something going on in there. The deer could have had some sort of really bad disease, or the meat might somehow be tainted, could be riddled with parasites. You want to look for this kind of stuff. Look for discoloration in the organs, the guts, the stomach, the intestines. All that should be very normal looking. Now, you know you got a fresh deer if when you cut that thing open after it was hit by a car and it's still warm. Man, you hit the jackpot, okay? So that's good. But that's it. You know, get it off the road. Don't gut it there on the side of the road. Just get it off the road as quickly as possible. Get somebody to help you. They're a lot heavier than you think they are. I've gotten a couple of deer off the side of the road by myself, and probably not good for my back, because it's not like picking up a box. You know what I mean? It's just like a big old floppy dead deer. So it's hard to pick up properly. You kind of have to hoist them up, and it's just be careful. Have somebody help you if possible. If you have a friend who is a police officer, or state trooper, or works for the Department of Game and Inland Fisheries, or just, you know, like a trucker, somebody who, delivery driver who's on the same route every single day, you know, back and forth, and they see a deer, hey man, have them put you on speed dial. That way you can go out there, and as soon as they notice that deer, you can get out there and grab that. That is 50, 60, sometimes 70 pounds of meat for your freezer. That'll feed your family for quite some time, like a month or two. I wanted to talk with you about hunting and the reasons I love it and how I got into it and all that, and I just sort of went off here on why roadkill. But if you're just getting started and you're not sure if you like venison, or you're just not you can't bring yourself to kill the animal yourself, then, you know, do this roadkill thing, man. It's great. If you have any questions or comments or experiences that you want to share or anything, leave a comment. I'll leave the comment feature on, and we can talk about it if you have any questions. And you know, if something's questionable, you're not quite sure, should I take this deer home and eat it or not? But yeah, deer is the only only roadkill I eat. I'm not going to eat a raccoon or turkey or anything else. You know, it's just stuff rots out too easily. But so I use primarily bow archery. I have I don't have my crossbow anymore. I do plan on getting another one soon, and compound bow is what I use now. I also have a long bow that I need to make time to go out and practice with that and become proficient at that, because I would like to master all forms of archery. I want to be proficient with the crossbow, the long bow, the recurve bow, and the compound bow. The compound bow is probably my absolute favorite. It's the smartest design. If you look at the history of archery, if you go all the way back and look at the beginning of just the invention of bow hunting, which goes back thousands of years, it's, you know, aside from spear hunting, is the earliest form of hunting that there is. And as we have progressed as a species, as we have evolved and become smarter and learned more about hunting, the compound bow has that is the leader. That is the forefront. That is just like, you get the absolute best compound bow, and that shows you how far we have come in the evolution of archery and bow hunting, because that's just going to be the best of the best. I have a Bowtech now, a Bowtech Black Ice 2008 model. I think it's like a 45-pound draw. I want to get a newer bow in the next year or two. I want to get a Hoyt. They have like a Redworks or something out now that's pretty good, and I want to increase my draw to like 65 or 70 pounds so I can have a little more force, and just challenge myself a little bit more, you know. But Hoyt and Matthews are my two favorite, but there's a lot of Easton makes real good arrows. There's a lot of good companies out there. You know, do your internet research. Look at YouTube reviews online. All kinds of great options out there. Do I have my bow with me now? Where is it? I could show you guys. I don't even know where it is. I think it's out here somewhere. I have my air rifle. I'll show you this. This is, boy, I've taken down many a squirrel with this. This is a beaut right here. This is a Gammo air rifle. I don't know the model number or anything like that. I've had it for quite some time. Here it says Gammo Hunter Sport. 1200 velocity feet per second. That's if you shoot the little gold pellets. If you just shoot the cheapo lead pellets, you can get 1,000 feet per second. So this is pretty nice. This is actually my only air rifle at the time. It needs cleaned up a bit, but it's got a nice scope on it there. I could probably hit the camera lens with that pretty easily, especially being this close. But that's great for squirrel. I also have another air pistol. I wish I had that. So cool looking. And it's made by I can't think of the name. Crossman? I don't know. It's really nice though, and that's when I go trapping. And you know, the next day I set the traps. The next day I go out and check the traps, and I bring this. It's just a lot more low profile. You know, sometimes I'm off of highways and sort of, kind of near residential areas. Not really though. But, you know, people will freak out if they see somebody walking around. They'll think that this is a real rifle, and you're walking in their neighborhood. And it just raises a lot of eyebrows. You want to be as discreet and low profile as possible. What you're doing is not illegal, but still, you want to remain low profile. You don't want to give hunters and trappers a bad name by, you know, being Oh, you know. And then if they see you with a rifle, what are they going to do then? They're probably going to try and watch you. They're going to, what's this guy up to? And then they're going to watch you go shoot a raccoon in the head. And they're going to be all outraged. And, you know, then they'll start a campaign. They get trapping banned. And how can you kill these poor little raccoons? Let me make a point here to tell you that I eat everything I kill. Most everything I kill. You know, crow, bit of a nuisance. I've never eaten crow. I haven't eaten mountain lion or coyote or fox yet. I certainly would eat any of those though, but I eat raccoon, I eat deer, turkey, squirrel, rabbit, groundhog, those kind of things. Good eating, you know, and I actually save their pelts. I am sort of trying to kind of learn how to do things with the pelts, like turn it into, you know, like I have a deer pelt in there from a whole deer that I got a couple seasons ago. And I eventually want to either send it off and get it, you know, make it real soft so I can like throw it on the back of my couch or whatever. More than likely my dogs are going to eat it if I do that, but or hang it on the wall, you know. That'd be really cool. You know how they do bear? They'll cut the pelt off a bear, they'll leave the front claws. I think maybe they don't leave the claws, but I know they leave the head attached to the pelt and then they turn it into a bearskin rug. That's pretty cool. I'd like to do that maybe with a deer and hang it on the wall, you know? But I still got a lot to learn as far as that goes. I have a few hunting items here I wanted to show you, only because they just happen to be sitting beside me. I didn't set them up for any. This is a turkey call, a slate turkey call. This particular one is made by Tom Teaser's Custom Calls. And the way this works, a couple of different calls you can do here. We have a turkey in our backyard, a pet turkey, and she might respond to this. You listen, and if you hear something back, you hear? Alright, so we got that. There's a box call for turkeys here that I have. I haven't actually done a lot of turkey hunting. I plan on getting more into that. This is the dominant, who's this made by? Tom Teasers. Same, it's a box call. And all you do with this, you just then hear a response. Duck call. I've never gone duck hunting. I've gone goose hunting before. This is I have two squirrel calls. One of them's broken. This one is broken. And this is made by a company called Night and Hail. Night and Hail, 4-in-1 squirrel call. And there's just a piece that has gotten loose, and I need to fix that or something. So this isn't going to make any noise at all. I honestly don't think squirrel calls don't sound real good. They don't, to me, they don't sound like they're supposed to sound like an agitated squirrel. Then you have the turkey mouth call. Let me see. One of these I have used more than the other. Yeah, this is the one here. This definitely has a little more wear on it. And you just put these in your mouth, work up some saliva. The reason these are such good calls, because if you're in a ground blind, or you're leaning up against a tree, and you're waiting for a turkey to come around, and you see one or hear one, and you want to call them in closer to you, you do not want that turkey seeing you. Man, turkeys have got some incredible vision. The hearing's pretty good too, but their vision, man, they can differentiate. You better be wearing camo from head to toe, including a veil or some kind of. And this just provides, if you have your shotgun held up, you don't have to. You're going to have both your hands are going to be busy with the gun, and you don't have time to sit there and have your gun aimed, ready to go, and fool around with a turkey call. This way, the turkey doesn't see any movement at all. You're just sitting there frozen like this, and then you can do the call whenever you want. All right, you see the turkey? Bam! And he didn't see any movement from you at all. That's the way you want it. All right? Got a couple other things here. Pardon me. I want to show off. This is does this work? Oh yeah, this is a goose call. Night and Hail, Long Honker, the KH230. I don't think I ever used that when I went goose hunting. What else do we have? These are actually just a couple of dog toys. They're antlers. They're real antlers from a deer. These sell ridiculously. If you ever go to a vet or a pet store and you see these pieces of antlers for sale, these are ridiculously expensive. Don't waste your money. I wouldn't anyway, but you can use these for rattling. I got a lot more hunting accessories and stuff I'd like to show off, but I'm going to do that in a future video. Like I said, this is basically just a test video. I'm testing the audio and video quality, the lighting, the background, This is going to radically change over time. All this crap you see in the back. This is just my garage in its natural state. And I'm going to tidy a lot of this stuff up. And I'm going to put some decorative things back here. But this is actually a pretty good place to do my podcast because, we're here in the garage. I can come out here 365 days a year. No reason. It's cold now, sure, but you know what? Just bundle up, dress warm like I am. Go Steelers. You're good to go. I'm very comfortable. It's like I'm sitting in the house, It's quiet out here, relatively, for the most part. I got a good microphone. I hope I'm close enough. I hope this isn't one of those microphones I have to be right up on and talking. I know you can hear me a lot better now. But I'm just hoping that it can be, let me scooch it toward me just a little bit. All right. Has a little spit shield on there. That's, well, to prevent, tiny pieces of spit when I talk, and also when I say, Peter Pepper picked a pickle, pickled peppers. Your P's tend to pop a lot. It's like, boom, boom. And then when people are listening, they're like, whoa, that is very unpleasant sounding. So that's what that is for. Got these both at Guitar Center. They're not a sponsor of this show yet. But I got this microphone, Apogee, I think it is. And I got it used. It's normally a little over $200. I think I got it for $129 or something like that. Real good deal. And I love it. It's been fantastic. Let's see. Does it say how long I've been recording? It does not. I don't know if I'm going to continue to use GarageBand to record the audio on it, but we'll see how it goes. I got to try to sync all this stuff up or it's going to sound like crap. Trying to think if there's anything else cool I can show you while I'm sitting here that I have within arm's reach. This is a rubber band gun. I think one of my cousins or something got me this one year. You just string a rubber band down one end, string it all the way down here, and every time you cock it, it releases. I think you can load a couple of different. It's just silly. Just for shooting your friends. You're not going to hurt anybody with it. Got my dog leash here. Definitely recommend you get yourself one of these flexi retractable dog leashes. These are amazing. This is actual working lantern. It probably needs oil. I don't know. I probably could fire it up. This is a inactive. Oh, you have reached the maximum song length of 650 bars. You cannot record past the maximum song. Oh crap! That means my audio just conked out. I wonder how long 650 bars is. Well, it'll show me when I'm done. Dang, I might have to, well, I'm going to have to use a different recording thing then. I'm sorry you can't hear me as good now, but I have this other audio recording program that might work better, GarageBand. I mean, because, podcasts can go for hours sometimes. All right, I guess I'll go ahead and wrap this up. That's done recording. You can't hear me as good now. I do apologize for that. But give me some feedback. Give me some suggestions, things you'd like for me to talk about, or questions that you might have, show topics. I love hunting. I love fishing. I did voiceovers for a time. We can talk about that. I can do a voiceover for you for a nominal fee, commercial. We can talk about beer, spirits, wine. What are some other things I'm interested in? Gosh, there's just so many. I'll list more on the next podcast. But this is it. The very first pilot, I don't know if you want to call it that, episode of the Clover Street podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and you all have a real good day.